We're live.
Yeah. Okay, we're here for another weekly broadcast of our Google Hangout on the Mojo reading. Here we go. I am Nye G Coach.
I'm Shiny Shireen.
I'm Zaidi Lips.
Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is the 10 reads. I want to talk to you guys real quick about that, but before I do, I want to mention something that I was talking to Ademus about, which is that coming up for the Mojo reading, the 12K, the next 2K, that's going to be heavily oriented towards the actresses, as you've seen from the last quizzes, and it'll be that way for several months now. After that, that mind is going to be basically played out. So then I'm going to be moving over to doing news and sports and try to do like 2,000 of that. That'll take us to 14K. That'll basically play out those minds to a large degree. We'll keep going back to them, but largely played out. What is that? Okay, so today we're going to switch on.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was playing in the background.
Basically, what it's saying is that when I get to level 13 for the Mojo reading track, that's going to be 16K I'll be going after. Those 2K, I don't think there's much to go after except either going into the foreign markets, where that's not English-speaking celebrities, which is a lot more challenging, or we could go with top vloggers. And so I was talking to Demas, we're going to go with top vloggers. We're going to stay and finish up the kind of English-speaking market, and we're going to do that by going to vloggers, and then after that we'll probably have to go into the foreign markets to keep getting more celebrities, which is kind of exciting that we have to do that. But we're going to clear out just about everything. So on that is that we're probably going to be getting to where we're going to have some interaction with Z9, which is very, very exciting. So it's probably about a year or two from now, but I want to prepare us now that we have a major engagement where I'm pretty sure we're going to get some interaction with Z9 because we're approaching all these big-time vloggers, particularly ones that are kind of like journalistic vloggers. So on that, the more leveled up we can be, the better. And we'll get their attention by letting them know that we cracked the case of the vloggers by doing 2,000 of them and kind of give them like a breakdown of that. But then also is that we want them to cover this ongoing experiment. And the experiment's basically these weekly quizzes that we're doing. As you know, to get 1 out of 16, if it was random, that would be like 7% average. Most people get somewhere around 25. Demas has done different kind of experiments for falsifiability. And as he does so, he says he usually gets around 20, maybe 25% that it can be done with like smart randomized. So we are already at 40 to 60%, with the average being, Demas says, like over 45%. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually very significant data, and I think makes for an interesting story to present to the kind of vlogging journalists, a lot of which Z9 probably weighted towards. So kind of just want to give you a heads up. Then from there, kind of segueing into Mojo reading, is that me and Demas were still talking, and I was saying that those numbers are going to go up because, first of all, the phenomenon's there. But you guys, these are 5 things we kind of hit on. 1, we're all going to keep training, and as we train, you keep getting to see it more and more. But there's some other major bumps. 1 is that we're training on a limited facility right now. If we were to have like an ideal training facility, it would have 1,000 of each of the Gender Mojo all ready for us done, and we could just play on that. So not only are we leveling up, but we're actually opening up the game. So that's going to make us all get a lot better as well. Next, Mojo journalism, as you cover the different bubbles, you're not trying to pull 1 out of 16. What I usually do is I'm like, oh, it's in law. I always keep open the idea that it could be anything. So I'll be like, no, it's probably a Z9 or a Viz or a Naiji or some rarity. And so being able to actually make it a smaller multiple choice makes for much more efficient Mojo reading. And so the more bubbles that we've opened up, the more we'll have that. 4th is having more people doing it. Because whether you guys know it or not, I want to give you guys props for this, is you're actually Mojo reading while also dealing with the fact that this is such a radical breakthrough that you have to keep wondering, am I crazy? And so you actually are dealing with that weight while reading. The more people are doing it, the less you have to carry that weight. That frees your lens up to do other stuff. So a lot of times you can get a higher like accuracy rating, not just by training more, but by having a better circumstance, a better facility. You take your instrument to a better facility, you can get a big bump up in accuracy just from that. And then finally is just that it becomes a bigger deal as the toddler culture gets larger. That it makes it more advantageous to get, like, say, practitioner program abilities because you get a lot of respect, you get a lot of recognition, and so forth for that. And so when that happens, it makes it easier to do. On that, I'll now segue into letting Charlene ask some questions here, is how did you all feel about the 10 as opposed to the 20? Talking about time. So I heard a little bit from Glenn in an email, and I was curious what you all thought as well. Go ahead. So, yeah, just kind of an idea of the team, like what you guys' thoughts were on the 10 versus the 20.
Okay, so I'll start off. From my perspective, the 10 as opposed to the 20 was a set. I'm working with limited time frames to get the quizzes done, amongst the other things. So for me, as far as time constraint, I felt like the 10 was better, which would be obvious. But I felt also that I still, because I like to spend about 15 minutes with each one of the samples. That's kind of the average that I spend with samples. I think that 10 is a good amount of time. 20 was pushing it a little more to find time during the week to feel comfortable with my reads, more comfortable with my reads. Now, whether that translates into the quiz results or not, that's a different matter. But that's kind of my take on it. How about you, Dimas?
Cool. That felt more like the time that you're it felt like that was a comfortable amount of reading.
Yeah.
Because that's what we want. Because I think the comfortable will add accuracy in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dimas?
I enjoyed the fact that I could feel overall more relaxed while going through it, knowing that I don't have to rush myself or make decisions that I'm not comfortable making. So actually, for the first time, I started even doing a different technique where I do half read wall as far as I feel like going, and then the next day I'll come back to it.
That's what I wanted. That's proper. That's supposed to happen. So I'm really glad to hear that.
So yeah, because of the fact that I can kind of do reads in two phases. I do initial reads, then revised reads, and then
Charlene, you also like to do that, don't you, when you have time?
Yeah.
Read early in the week and then hit revisit.
Yeah, especially like some where I zoom in to what I think is a certain social alchemy sometimes, or I'm in between two, and I kind of just jot it down, but then with the idea of revisiting later on.
Yeah, it's amazing how much you can cross-contextualize just when you just come at something again in a different mood, in a different headspace, and all of a sudden something's clear to you that wasn't clear before. So yeah, being able to kind of hit something twice where you read and then review.
10 seemed to be able to hit that pace?
Yeah.
Good.
Cool. How about you, Mitchell? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I definitely liked what you guys were saying about the revisiting. I would like to do that. I wasn't able to this week because I had a kind of crazy week, but in the future I'm definitely going to try that. And that sounds like a good idea. But as far as even what I was able to do, I just had a lot more time to bore into every sample. Like when I have 20, especially when I have a really busy week, usually I'll do most of the reading near the end, and I'm just doing them pretty quickly most of the time. Like I'll look at a few pictures, 1 or 2 videos at most, and if I can't get it, I'll often have an answer I'm not that comfortable with. But I think for all of you, I was able to really bore in more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, having more time with samples and being more into.
Yeah.
Like one I was maybe having a tough time on, I could spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes on it. Most of them I didn't, but I had that option.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes if I have a lot I'm doing, this is why I do the purification cycles periodically. I have to because when you go at a really high volume, you sometimes feel guilty about boring into one really deep, but you may just need to do that. But when you see how many you have to do, you almost feel like I should just call it, and you don't want to be in that state.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's definitely a distortion.
Yeah. How about you, Ben?
I thought that the added flexibility was a little bit nice. I felt like, especially like like the thing is, I ended up doing like most of them on the last day, so I didn't get like a lot of the advantages, but like I did some of them like earlier in the week, and I felt myself that I was a lot more comfortable with the guesses that I was making. It was nice to have that kind of flexibility, so that it wasn't like there wasn't as much pressure on the amount of samples that we're actually doing, so that it becomes overbearing and thus causes us to not want to invest as much time into a single sample. So
That's a very good point, Ben, because sometimes the way to do it may be to do all your work stuff in your week first so that you can be in the right headspace to do it. But that might only leave you one day. I think
Yeah.
10 doable in a sitting. Do you mean?
Yeah.
If you need to, I think you can do 10 in a setting and still do quad. When you go over that, you start to really feel fatigue. If you're trying to hit it in one session, I mean, 10. I think 10's doable in a session.
Okay, Infinity?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything that all of you have stated thus far. I mean, it's a composite of everything that I've heard thus far. I just felt a lot more freedom doing 10 versus 20, just with the time allotment of everything and the possibility of going back. I didn't do as much of going back this week and reviewing a sample that might have been a little bit debatable or something like that. But I imagine in future weeks that's just going to present a lot of opportunities to have a second look, and I think it's pivotal because our whole perspectives can change so much from one setting to the next that it's nice to hopefully have some sort of consistency from one to the other. But sometimes when you rely everything on one setting, you never know what you're going to get sometimes. So it's nice. It's just nicer to have larger freedom this way, and it's working. I think this is great. Complete agreement.
Great. Glenn?
Yeah, pretty much everything that you guys are saying. I didn't have enough time to do a lot of them in the beginning. I just did about 3 reads, like the first day, I think, and then I did all the rest on the last day, on Saturday, I mean. And so I felt like it was a lot less pressure because there were a lot fewer reads, just 10. So I just focused on those 10. I usually do all 50, but I just did those 10, and it was a lighter of a load in that way. I'm thinking I'm going to try what Adima said, like trying to do a little bit every day, kind of going with sample, I think. Maybe do all 10, all the easy ones, and then maybe do on the next day, kind of focus more on the harder ones, and then kind of see if I don't feel different about some of the samples that I did before, see if I can change my answer on some of them. I'm also noticing that because I'm writing at the same time as I'm doing it, I'm kind of forced to have to articulate my thoughts onto paper and then sort of be like, okay, what am I seeing? And then I have to go back to the sample, and then I'm forced to look at what I'm saying and seeing if it's really true. And then that causes me to sort of have to check my work while I'm kind of writing it as well. So that's something that I found helpful and beneficial too. I don't know how I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see.
Oh, yeah, totally. Good point. And Eagle Eye, do you have anything to add?
I also like the idea of having 10 samples per week versus 20 because
How'd you get this?
I have
Could you speak a little louder, Eagle Eye, please?
I like the idea of having 10 samples per week versus 20 because I now have more time to focus on the collage quiz that helps me a lot in uh, being more accurate in I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. Good. So I think the general consensus,
yeah.
we're feeling good about this shift.
All right. So on that, let's go ahead and go to the quiz.
Alright. Okay. My book of guesses.
First one up, I believe, is Amy Carrero.
Yeah.
Okay. So I said,
Who's keep track of who keep track of?
yeah, I'll keep track.
Okay.
So Amy Guerrero, I said Nijai.
I said Pijai.
I said Bijai.
I said Nijai.
I said Jinai.
I said Vijay.
Mine's Vijay.
Okay, it is Bijai.
Bijai. Okay, so 3 out of
3. Who got it?
Emil did.
I think 4. Yeah, Ademus, me, Glenn, and Emil.
Get it?
Mitchell, did you get it?
Yeah, 4 I said. Ademus, me, Glenn, and Emil.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, 4.
That's what I thought.
All right. Next is Luciana Caro.
I said Nijai.
I said Nijai.
I said Jaini.
I said Nijai.
Nijai.
Vijay.
Nijai.
Okay, I had Bijai. Yeah, we're taking a look at my work again.
Wow.
Been 0.
Yeah, let's go take a look at it.
Wow.
Yeah, because everyone said Shiny or Nijai.
Bijai, no, except but I was moving fast on these, as I mentioned, so I look forward to taking a look. Okay, Joelle Carter.
Yeah, I put Nizai for her.
I said Nizai.
I said Nizime.
Nizai.
Nizai.
Vijay.
Nizai.
Okay, everyone said Nizai.
I think I see Zaini.
Okay.
Another contender.
Wow.
Check my work
Man,
again.
already we're 0 for 6.
But it's great. I like you guys have
Cool.
so like when I see a trend like that, it's like, oh, I should take a look at it.
Take a look.
It'll either be a great lesson for you guys, or
Yeah.
it'll be an upgrade to my accuracy on what I had. Sunday Carter.
I said Jai.
Vijay.
I said Nijime.
Vijay.
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 Coach.
Glenn. Okay.
I said
The answer is
Vijay.
Bijai.
Okay, so I think everybody.
Oh, nice.
Vijay. Wow.
No, I said Nijime.
Oh, you said Nijai.
Hmm.
So 6.7 on that.
All right. Elaine Cassidy.
I said Naiji for her.
I said Nijai.
I said Nizime.
I said Nijai.
I said Jaini.
Vijay.
Zaini.
Okay, I believe it's Jaini.
Jaini.
I believe it. Did,
3?
I got it. Jaini.
But who got
who
that?
else got it? Who else got shiny?
I think that was it.
Jaini.
Deagle, I get it?
Eagle Eye, you got it?
He
No,
said,
no.
he said Zayn.
I said
Oh, okay.
Zaini.
You said Ziny, so it was
Oh.
1 out of 7.
Okay. You're close on them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Maggie Castle.
I said Nizai.
I said Nijai.
I said Zaini.
I said Nizai.
Nijai.
Nizai.
Nizai.
I have Bijai. Did anyone get
Nijai or Vijay?
You said Vijay.
Vijay.
Did anyone get that?
Wow.
I don't think so.
Definitely.
Wow. This is a fun week.
Shanley Caswell.
Maybe spending a lot of time with people is not as. Okay.
No.
Shani,
I believe if my reads were right, and I'm sure these most of them are. This was an unusual one. There was like 6 Bijai.
yeah.
I don't think we ever had a quiz with that many.
Heavy. I said Naiji
For who?
for Shanley Caswell.
Shanley Caswell.
Okay. Nijai.
I said Vijay.
I said Vijay.
Nijai.
Vijay.
Nijai.
Wait.
Did everyone say?
Okay.
It's Bijai.
Oh, it's Vijay. Did
Yeah.
somebody say Did anybody say Vijay?
I think Mitchell and Glenn did,
And Glenn.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think even Emil did too.
Wow.
Like 4?
So it's 4. That
No,
said.
my answer is Nijai.
Okay, Nijai. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you said
Three.
No, 3 then. That's Nijai. Okay, good.
Challenge Kate's.
I said shiny.
Johnny.
No. I said Nizai.
Shiny.
I think I'm wrong.
Nizai.
Nijai.
Shiny.
It's shiny. Who's that?
So it's 3, right? You.
I got it. Yeah.
I got it. I know Emil. Was there anyone else besides me?
I got shiny as well.
Okay, so 4.
Okay, next, Yvonne Catterfeld.
Okay, I said Naiji.
Nizai.
I said Naiji.
Nizai.
Ziny.
Nizai.
Nijai.
Okay.
Did anyone say Vijay?
Nope. No.
Whoa.
Shades of
No
night.
way.
Well, sort of Vijay.
Oh, Vijay. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
But
that-
Vijay, right?
Yeah, Vijay.
Last one, Laura Coyote.
0 out of 7. I said Nizai.
I said shiny.
I said Naiji.
I said shiny.
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 And Shiny.
Did anyone say Naiji?
I said Naiji.
Mitchell did?
Yeah, Mitchell did.
Cool.
I was wondering that.
She's got an elegant, classy game.
She
Yeah.
does. Oh, such a close call.
All right, so why don't you
Who
go
are
ahead and have like 0 or 1 or something.
I was so thinking.
Yeah, there were 3 that had 0, so go to those. Most of them were.
Most
Very difficult.
So do like you did before. Right, we pull the videos up and you guys just call it what you're saying.
I got 3 of them right and 2 of them were Vishai.
What's that?
I got
Me-
3 of
me
them
too,
right
Ben.
and 2 of them were Vishai.
Good.
Exact same result. 3 right to Vijay.
We'll look at Luciana Caro first. She's,
Yeah, no one got her. Y'all get that wrong.
So I'll pull one of her links here.
This is going to be a fun week.
I know, right?
Great.
Okay.
Ben.
Okay, so Luciana, oh wait. We need Luciana Caro.
Your guys' screen is like frozen.
Here's the link
Like I
one.
can hear you fine.
Sure.
What's that?
Weird. I was just saying your screen's frozen for mine. It's been for like 5 minutes. I can hear you fine. Does it matter?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe because of the connection, because I'm seeing you frozen and your image frozen too.
Oh, okay.
How is the internet in your coffee shop generally? Is it a strong internet or kind of a spotty internet?
Brian.
I don't know. I've never tested
we don't know
it to
enough.
this level.
Never
Yeah.
tested. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
She's
got offered the job and
Vijay.
went in,
Okay.
what they did, I mean, they were doing hair and makeup for longer than anybody, an hour and a half.
Took that long to think
You
you're
know,
ugly.
to
It's
make
so hard. How are we gonna do this?
I know, I mean, they bleached out my eyebrows, they keep the freckles, blood, round. Well, that was my idea.
That was my favorite part.
They kind of did it a little, and I'm like, okay, if we're gonna do this, let's go all out. Let's make them broad, you know. And but what was so fun about it is that, you know, a lot of times you kind of get your concepts in our mind, like, whatever. I can just go all out, utterly make them ugly in face. It was so freeing as an actor. And I loved it.
She articulates well.
Yeah, she does.
So that looks like a lot of V.
Bike.
Right there when she looked at him.
Yeah.
There. See how wide she opened
She's
it
like
up?
a real soldier in a real war.
Yeah. And I forget sometimes. I forget that I look like that.
Yeah, I actually had
And
me
like,
try for
talking
her,
so
but
much, I'm like, yeah.
yeah, no, ABC is.
We had a lot of like called extracurricular parties where people would gather.
She has good eye.
Show up. Nobody would
Nobody
recognize.
would recognize me. I went to the first Christmas party that we had, and I went in and I was kind of new. I don't know.
Yeah, that seemed like a lot of shimmy.
Yeah, and that's what what confused me because I haven't seen a lot of VJI with a lot of shimmy, and so I confused that with lava.
This it's a little crisper.
Then finally I got in the car.
I think I'm hearing a little of the nasal.
Right, you were saying that it being has that.
And then I got in the car and as I was sitting there, he was like, Gianna, you raised me? And I'm like, yeah, nobody knew you were here. So I realized that nobody, like, I think it was you. You recognized me.
You guys can go back. I think I'm still good with the VGI here right now.
Okay, cool. So we'll take a look at the next one. Joel.
Well, do you guys want to call anything out? Because on her? Okay, we go down the
You wanna? We can look.
Otherwise, I will be. I'll, if I'm only just reconfirming my work, I'll be the only one doing it.
Got it. Let me put another interview on then.
That was the best one, I think.
But I won't say anything. I'll just say I confirm it.
Okay.
And then you can go from there. So who's next?
Pretty cool. It's Joelle Carter, and she is.
Y'all thought Nisai?
We also thought Nisai.
Right.
I think that's why I didn't remember. If you would have actually gone through that, maybe I think I would remember that. I
Marshall shows a better door. This murderer has to seduce him while he's telling the story of the demise of her husband. Can you get any greater? I mean, it's amazing.
Okay, so
and that's Elmore
Butch
Leonard,
confirmed her as a
the
psyche.
idea of
That's now. I mean,
that.
I saw her G, and I saw her strong cheekbones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the things that jumped out, and she has good.
You know, it was self-defense because she realized that.
And so I went with the
now,
like, thinking that she was a more stately me side, like more elegant lady. So maybe I confused that languidness with her, a riff of Mizai that doesn't actually exist. I just see her lips protrude as if localized.
Yeah, I don't think
Definitely very localized, yeah.
Yeah.
And
The ad serve is unquestionable.
And the cadence. Yeah, even though she has good knee, her cadence is slower than a Nya.
Yeah. And when she does animate, and she does do it a lot, but like, she's not like, it's a major transition. Kind of like she's normally just sort of back,
Right.
talking like that's very natural for her. And then when she'll go whoa and kind of
Yeah, and like explosions.
jump up, yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the quality it has.
Yes, that makes sense.
world down there. I think that relationship is more.
Oh yeah, okay. And now you see her hands. She's doing this. It does seem long and languid.
It's like they can chance that life.
And also, that tower tunnel's constant.
About something, she just acts upon him. Well, she had been in love with this guy from childhood too, so you have a history. Sometimes there's just those people that you don't see for years and you just pick it up. I think she's not going to ever be told again. She lived that life.
Yeah, so now it's really jumping out the fact that she's very refrained. But naturally so.
I believe Ava was
And
really in love with him.
localized.
Yeah.
It's good to note this because you've seen those cues at the same time as you note that. You note what you saw before with that maneuver, which is a lot of knee and a lot of G. She's got really good objective powers. So sometimes I feel like hold a note like it's an unusual animal. It's like, oh, so that's what a Zaini with lots of knee and G looks like.
Yes.
So like that, they're unusual riffs. They're the ones that so easily bleed in your Sinomnia into being something that they're not because they're like an unusual riff.
Yeah.
That way.
Right.
Well, the boat is south. There's a lot of.
Anyone else offer anything else up?
Yeah, do you guys
It's a big thing.
have
thoughts?
anything? Yeah, any
We'll move
thoughts
on.
about
There's
her
small towns where you don't really get out
that
of.
jump out?
I mean, I just totally see the hooded eyes
Yeah.
in retrospect.
Guys, stick up for them.
She's definitely not doing Gumby Claw. I'm not seeing any Gumby Claw at all.
Say that again, Mitchell.
I said she's definitely not doing Gumby Claw.
Yeah, she's definitely not
I
doing it.
don't see like the kind of quick alpha cadence. And I think the main thing that you can just see throughout the interview, like I already said, is just how naturally she refrains.
Yeah.
Like she's
Yes.
doing that the whole. I kind of missed that first time, but
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Good with her.
Any more
Wow.
Yeah, Yvonne Catterfield, who is down as a B-shot, right? You read as a B-shot.
Yvonne Catterfield, oh yeah. Okay.
Yvonne Catterfield. This one, like, just
Yeah, Jackie said like
oh yeah. She has a good name.
She
I
does.
pondered whether she was B-Drive for a while. She has a very magnetic,
I'm gonna-
a lot of animal magnetism.
And I'm getting a little bit of extra free spirits. Better game.
Yeah, better game. Yeah.
It's like fresh she makes.
Actually, yeah. Now that I'm looking at it,
She has a good game, yeah.
Yeah.
Good night.
That's right.
Yeah, because it gives her more hunter-looking
It does.
eyes.
But this
Nye does, yeah.
this is a V alpha with lots of 9 in their eyes. It looks more cunning, more feral,
Yeah.
but still laser feral. This is laser feral.
Okay, now I mean, she's
Yeah. That's interesting because you pointed out a lot in the past, like there are lots of Naiji who have a lot of B in their eyes. Where it's sort of, so it's interesting to see that kind of flipped V alpha.
Makes her more slinky.
Yeah, it makes her more sneaky.
Go through and I mean, it won't be like
It makes him more. It does make him more cagey.
It does. It does. Actually, like a lot of what kind of made me think on Mizai, just seeing, even seeing her in pictures, it's like she just looks like a really clever person.
In this case, it's laser cunning.
Yeah.
That's good. It expands.
It does. Yeah.
Your understanding of the mojo. You know. Like
It's kind of in reverse of the say the NES pilots that we talk about how they have the brighter eyes than the Nye Alpha.
yeah.
I mean, this is kind of like in reverse
Yeah.
where they have a lot of Nye,
Nye.
and it gives them a bit of a slinky cat.
Yeah.
Slinky cagey.
Yeah, and before
And more animal than doll.
Keiji was more of a was reserved for NES Alpha.
Well, I think it's reserved for NES powers.
Yeah.
She also looks very.
For NES into it, bringing in that cagey element.
What's that, Glenn?
She looks very subjective heavy in a way too. She's very gravitas. I don't know.
Yeah, she does have a lot of gravitas, and she does keep looking away to her eye.
The eyes bright, always the bright, drinking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were looking at him.
But she's very different than, say, like Demi Lovato, who seems to be a lot more amped all the time. She's a lot more like matured, kind of like more refined taste, kind of Vijay.
Yeah.
Reminds me, yeah. It's cool to see her look, because it reminds me of several of the Vijay, but with the Nike. I'm seeing kind of like Britney Spears, Kim Pantier, and Kim Kardashian with really good game.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah. Do you guys want to do? Let's do an interview, maybe one that has more of her body and her carriage, possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those eyes.
Yeah, she is.
And that smile, that's Kim Kardashian. That's just that mouth, that's Vijay.
But her eyes look so cunning.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't seen that in a Vijay before. That really is something I need to get adjusted to.
This is key. She's cunning, but she's not hunting. That's something to note.
Yes.
She's cunning, but she's not hunting?
Yeah, Mitchell asked you to elaborate on if she's cunning but not hunting.
Yes, like right here, perfect. Look at her right now. That looks like one of the more cunning V alphas I've seen.
Absolutely.
She doesn't look like she's hunting the person who's interviewing her. There's no piercing quality.
No, you're right. It's
right.
You know what it is? It's not as unnerving,
It's not piercing.
I think, as you would get with like a Nye alpha.
Say again, I'm sorry.
I said it's not as unnerving as you would get with like.
Exactly. It kind of makes. It looks like she's done well. It makes her gather game more gravitas, more
completely,
and adds like a slinky allure to it. But I don't feel it actually coming, looking at me.
No.
In the way
right.
Actually, any of the Nye Alpha, Nye Mojos do it. When they look at you, they look like they're trying to hold you with their eyes. She doesn't. Yeah, a lot of slinky, but she was still drinking over holding.
Mm-hmm.
You gave her the eyes though; they were still drinking as a gatherer will. It looked wise, like you won't fool me.
Yeah,
right. Doing that, these have good V alphas going to be. I won't sell her fools. She was drinking. Oh, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look very aware.
Very aware. You won't get anything over on me.
It's also not momentum. It's major modulation. You can see that in the way that she doesn't look like she's getting a lot out of doing Nye, but she's like made herself become good at it through experiences. Right. And so I mean, like I'm looking at this one picture, it kind of looks like it's heavy on her. Her eyes look a bit heavier, and it's not like for like a Naiji, like we live in heaviness. It's kind of like she's actually having to try to be, more like that.
Yeah. It's that a hunter poise we often talk about, like the Ni Alpha, where they have like hopefully a good amount of Vi modulation. When they do it properly, it gives them like a poise. And so I guess V Alpha is the same thing. They have like a Ni poise.